Radhe Radhe, Jai Shri Krishna. Today we are going to discuss the topic how science discovered Krishna. Let's begin. Archaeology, astronomy, and literacy sources have been used to establish the fact that Lord Krishna was definitely a historical character. Let's explore. The sea, which had been beating against the shores, suddenly broke the boundary that was imposed on it by nature. The sea rushed into the city. It coursed through the street of the beautiful city. The sea covered up everything in the city. Arjuna saw the beautiful building becoming submerged one by one. He took a last look at the mansion of Krishna. In a matter of few moments, it was all over. The sea he had now become a placid as a lake. There was no trace of beautiful city, which had been the favorite haunt of all Pandavas. Dwarka was just a name, just a memory. Mosula Purva Mahabharata. Does this account from the ancient Indian epic have a true historical core? Did Lord Krishna, the youthful, playful god, indeed the favorite Indian deity, walk the streets of ancient Dwarka? Did Krishna, considered the lord of the universe by a billion Hindus, rule the Yaduvamshi clan thousands of years ago? The reason why some doubts Krishna's existence at all is because of the web of lies spun by European Indologists who first appeared on the scene in 19th century. These scholars, some of who had not even studied Sanskrit, questioned every belief the Hindus had held for millennia. They concluded, and their Indian followers faithfully started doubting that Krishna was a myth. There are two reasons why the European, mostly British, debunked Indian history. One, those Indologists were not Indophiles. They did not come to seek the truth. Some people argue that these scholars were also fired by the zeal of spreading Christianity. When the Europeans first came into contact with the learned Indians and their historical texts, they were shocked to learn that Indian history predated their world by thousands of years. It clashed with their religion belief that their God has created the earth 4,000 years ago. Some Indian historians believe that for the missionaries, destroying the historically of Krishna was imperative if they had any chance of establishing their religion in India by labeling as a myth the Indian historical sources like the Vedas, Mahabharata, Upanishad, and especially the Puranas, which give exact chronologies of Indian kings including Krishna. The missionaries ensured that Indian history and tradition facilitate the process of colonizing the Indian mind. However, the truth is always difficult to suppress. Using archaeological scripture, literally and astronomical data, scholars and scientists are coming down to view that Krishna was definitely a historical character. The Rosetta Stone, or the key to Krishna's story, is Dwarka. The strongest archaeological support comes from the structure discovered in late 1980s under the shift of the coast of modern Dwarka in Gujarat by a team of archaeologists and divers led by Dr. S. R. Rao, an emeritus scientist at the Marine Archaeology Unit of the National Institute of Oceanography, Goa. Rao has excavated a large number of Harappan sites, including the port city of Lothal in Gujarat. In this book, The Lost City of Dwarka, published in 1999, he writes about his undersea find. The discovery is an important landmark in the history of India. It has set to rest the doubt expressed by historians about the historic city of Mahabharata and various of Dwarka city. Conducting 12 expeditions during 1983 and 1990, Rao identified the two underwater settlements, one near the present-day Dwarka and the other nearby island of Bet Dwarka. This tallies with the two Dwarkas mentioned in the epic. The underwater expedition won Rao the first World Ship Trust Award for individual achievement. Another important find by our divers was a seal that established the submerged township connection with the Dwarka to the Mahabharata. The seal corroborates The reference made in the ancient text, the Harivansa, that every citizen of Dwarka should carry such a seal for identification purpose. Krishna has ruled that none without the seal would enter it. A similar seal had been found on shore as well. In his book, Search for Historical Krishna, N.S. Rajaram, a mathematician and former NASA scientist, writes that names of people and places contemporary to Krishna are found on some Harappan seals. For example, words like Paila, Akrura, Vrishni, Yadu, Srishtha are found on seals, some of which go back 5,000 years. The west coast of Gujarat was the traditional land of the Yadavas and Yadus. According to the Bhagavad Puran, Krishna led the Yadavas thousands of kilometers west to establish Dwarka so they could start a new life safe from their many enemies in the Gangetic Valley. The Mahabharata says Dwarka was reclaimed from the sea. Now it was discovered that the submerged city's walls were erected on foundation of boulders, suggesting that land indeed was reclaimed from the sea. Of course, there are thousands of references to Krishna in other Hindu as well as Buddhist texts, but Dwarka is the key, for one cannot separate Dwarka from Krishna. If the city existed, then it is true that Krishna ruled over it. Dr. Narhari Archer, professor of physics at University of Memphis, Tennessee, has dated the Mahabharata war using astronomy using regular planetarium software. According to research conducted in 2004-05, the titanic clash between the Pandavas and Kauravas took place in 3067 BC. Using the same software, Dr. Archer places the year of Krishna birth 3112 BC. Dr. Manish Pandit, a nuclear medicine physician in UK, also examining the astronomical, archaeological and linguistic evidence, agrees with Dr. Archer's conclusion. Dr. Pandit, who is also a distinguished astrologer and has written several books on the subject, traced the route of Krishna's journey to suit the documentary Krishna History or Myth. Dr. Pandit says there are more than 140 astronomy references in the Mahabharata. Simulation of the night sky on the planetarium software show the stars as they would align over Saraswati River in northern India. These simulations have been combined and geographical discovered to arrive various days. According to historian S.M. Ali, the author of Geography of Puranas, the geographical matter contained in Mahabharata is immense. It perhaps the only great work which deals with geographical details and not incidentally as other works. However, historians doubt all these claims. According to one such writer, although Lord Krishna plays an important role in Mahabharata, the earliest inscription and sculptural pieces found in Mathura between 2000 and 300 AD do not attest his presence. Whether Krishna really dwelt on earth or is just a mythological character is a topic that can be debated forever. However, there is no denying the fact that irrespective of all the discussion, he has a special place in the heart of his believer. Dr. Rao says further digging and diving in tandem with India's vast treasure trove of historical facts will further corroborate key dates of our eventful and glorious past. As the Upanishad says, Pratana Kirtim Apa Venu Know Thy Past. Thanks for listening. May Krishna bless you all. Radhe Radhe, Jai Shri Krishna. See you soon in my next vlog. Have a blessed day.